Hello and welcome to the Feedback Force podcast, the game design analysis podcast of the End Defender community. We are back. Hello, I'm Kelso.
And I'm Kyla.
And I'm Carl.
Yeah.
And it's time for the next 100 games.
Yeah. I forgot
Getting-
that's
yeah.
like...
I forgot this is the first one.
Yeah. Yep. Number 201.
That's crazy.
And
That's crazy.
if I do my job right for the rest of the day or at some point in the near future, it's entirely possible you could be listening to this on YouTube.
True.
But we'll see if I figure that out. We have some complications which I won't get into, but we're gonna try and set up a YouTube playlist for the continued episodes of this podcast, because a lot of people actually do use YouTube for podcasts. It would be nice to be there. So if you happen to be listening to this on YouTube, welcome.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Hello from the past where we didn't have all of our stuff on YouTube. Not all of it. You're not going back retroactively, right? We talked about this, I think.
Yeah, I don't plan to. Maybe like if somehow we blow up on YouTube and people demand the back 200 episodes go up on YouTube, then I will post it. But they're older episodes. They're not that we're not proud of them, but like they're less immediately relevant. We, suggest that you contact us at social media, things that don't exist anymore, that kind of thing. So
yeah, and we have had guests that we have lost contact with, so that's part of like, do we want to be putting stuff with people that we can't get permission from on YouTube, that kind of thing. So a lot has happened in like 10 years, a decade, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start with episode 201 and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Assuming I get all the kinks worked out.
Yeah. Are we gonna start like structuring this like seasons? I guess we're now into season 3.
Yeah, more or less.
Maybe, if depending on
very long seasons.
Very long seasons. Yeah, that's fine.
Seasons.
That's okay.
That's good.
It's all right.
It's fine.
That's the only way I can think of to divide it up is by the 100 episodes. So
yeah,
it's a nice round number.
As good a way as any, because the awards episodes kind of act as like finales in their own way.
Yeah, it's like a bookend. Yeah.
We're
but
in
anyway.
the post-Thousand Exorcist era.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it changed us all fundamentally as people.
I mean, kind of, yes.
We never return to the show's status quo, really. It's a fundamental break.
So many good games that will now be horrible because we just keep comparing it.
That's probably true.
What do they say? Comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna thieve a lot of joy, I think. How y'all doing? How's been the past couple weeks?
It's been good. It's been extremely sunny and summery.
Yeah, thank God. Seattle as well, finally starting to get like occasional sun. Not today, mind you, but in the recent past.
That's fair. We've got the opposite going on here. It was like proper summer, early summer for like half a week, and then at the back half of this week, it just started becoming rainy, which is fine. I mean, I'm not gonna complain about getting rain. We're in a drought, so like, that's okay. I'll take it. It's just a little overcast today. That's okay.
Well, I have been like consuming a bunch of media, so I've got like all kinds of stuff to report on. I just we did another one of our potluck and play gatherings last night, so we read through You Can't Take It With You, which is a short, cute, like quirky little comedy play. Um,
I think I was in a I was in a production of that
really? Do you
actually.
remember who you played?
I was the Russian Duchess in the last act.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was in high school. I was like, "Wait, why does that sound familiar?" Oh, I was in that. Don't be stingy with the blinces is all I got to
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly. I was gonna say she's a displaced royal, and the like running gag is that there's like a whole handful of displaced Russian royals who are
Yeah.
like working menial waitressing jobs and stuff in the
Yeah.
area in the States. And so she's in addition to being a duchess, she also works as like a waitress at Child's restaurant.
I don't remember. I literally remember nothing about that play because that was like I was just that character that shows up in the third act and kind of steals the show for a little bit, which
Yeah,
is great because I don't, you get to have
one
a
of
lot of
those
fun and
fun
not show up
parts.
to yeah, you get to have a lot of fun and not have to show up to every single rehearsal, which is perfect. It's the best way to do it,
Yep,
honestly.
fair. Yeah, I read for the part of Alice, who's sort of the um, one half of like the straight man couple, right? Like the
Mm, yeah,
non weird characters who
yeah,
are there to be the main plot. But it's very cute. It's about a really quirky family, and the daughter of the family has met a boy that she likes, who she wants to marry. Um, but he comes from like a fairly wealthy and like well-to-do family, and she's like really nervous about introducing him to her. It's like really weird,
sure,
uh,
yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, really weird relatives, and so it's just a cute, quick farce about things going horribly wrong.
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoy it. I recommend it. It was shorter than most of the plays we usually read for the potluck and play. I had a good time. Also, lately I've started reading Cemetery Boys by Aidan Thomas, which is it's a novel about like a young trans exorcist who like everybody in his family like has kind of magic death related powers, and like traditionally all the women are healers and all the men are like exorcists. um, and he is trans, so they like tried to make him do the healer ceremonies, but it like healing didn't really work well for him, so he's like secretly gave himself the rights for the exorcist ceremony stuff, and
Hmm.
uh, then he like accidentally summons a ghost, and it's like a young adult romance kind of thing, and between him and presumably the ghost boy.
Okay.
uh, and it's real cute so far. I'm not like super far into it, but it was recommended by a writer friend of mine, so I've been doing that. I will report back when I finish it. Um, and I started playing Split Fiction with Huck,
Oh yeah.
which is by the devs of It Takes Two. Yeah, which is a lot of fun, kind of puzzle platformy sort of stuff, mostly platforming, light, figure out how to cooperatively open paths kind of thing. It's pretty like linear corridor platforming, so it's like nothing, like astonishing level design wise, but it's cute and fun, and it does require like genuine cooperation, which is always like that's I think a good sign of a sign of a good co-op game is when you have to actually like speak out loud to each other to communicate
Mm.
things as you're going along.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have one massive gripe with that game, and
Yeah.
it's not important, but they portray like the two characters as totally different because one is a girl that writes sci-fi and one is a girl that writes fantasy.
They both kind of write fantasy though, is the thing.
They
'Cause,
kind of
like,
do. Also, that's not a big difference.
yeah.
It's
And
really
I think
not.
at least so far it doesn't seem like it seems more like the other way around, like their differences in personalities have led them to different genres rather than vice versa. But yeah, no, it's very like the characters are not super deep, at least so far, for sure. Um, but they are fun. And yeah, the sci-fi is very like space opera kind of sci-fi, not really like nuanced, thoughtful. Um, but that's all right. It's as I said, it's fun and it's good. Like it's good co-op, which is the thing that we were kind of looking for. Is like something that feels like solid to play together and that really feels cooperative. So
Did you
and
two play It Takes Two before?
we did not. We considered it. I was not like super gung ho about playing a game about divorce. Um,
That's fair.
for some reason. But which like I'm sure it was fine. I'm sure the story was like not that much deeper than this story is. But it was kind of just a thing we never quite got around to. And then, this one came out and our friends were recommending it. So we're like, all right, we'll try it out. I am playing the sci-fi character so far, which is we're like 2 or 3 chapters into it. And it's been a good experience so far. And it's close to my heart, the question of being a writer and having like AI stealing all your shit is topic.
Yeah, the pain, the
Yeah.
eternal pain. I keep trying to convince Ev to play some of the Dark Pictures anthology games with me because I know that's like super async co-op, and I think it would be very interesting to just like go through those.
I've never heard of
Even
those.
though it's what is it? What is the name of the studio now off the top? They did
Supermassive?
Supermassive, yeah. They did Until Dawn.
Not to be
right?
confused with Supergiant.
No.
Yeah. But I've heard that many of the games in the Dark Picture series are like not great, but
I've heard that every game in the series is not great.
Yeah. But it's one of those things that I feel like would be like schlocky fun to kind of to play.
Is this the one? Is
Not
this the
really
one where
serious.
it's like a horror narrative where you have to like make decisions and based on your decisions, like people survive or don't?
Yeah, that's Until Dawn.
Okay.
And the Dark Pictures it's like again it's horror anthology stuff.
Gotcha.
I don't know the scope of them specifically, but
I think I've seen some clips of like the Drawfee folks playing these. Yeah, I have a vague idea. That's cool. Definitely doesn't seem like my kind of game, but more power to you if that's
fair. Yeah, that's fair.
The thing you're interested in. And then the last thing that I've started playing recently is Umineko, When They Cry.
I'm so curious.
Viznav.
What do you think of it?
So I'm going to preface this by saying that I am going to keep playing this because it was recommended by 2 people whose opinions on writing I like very much respect. And I was warned that like the beginning is not great and like you do have to get through the beginning. But you guys, I have played 2 hours of this game and nothing has fucking happened. Like I understand it's eventually turns into sort of a like Danganronpa murder game type story, possibly, but like oh my god, the opening is interminable and the main character is insufferable. So far, the only thing has happened is that the main character, who's like 18, has like been like kind of sex pesty towards 3 women, 2 of whom are his cousins, one of whom is 9 years old. Right, like it's real capital A, capital B anime bullshit to start with. And
Yeah.
I'm told it gets better. I'm told the writing gets very good, and I trust the people who recommended this to me. So I'm going to stick it out and get to the point where it gets good. But my God, is the opening insufferable.
I have heard the exact same thing, but I've also heard that you probably have ways to go.
Oh God, does it keep being this for a bit? Ugh.
Yeah,
Well,
I
cool.
hope
that's
you're
the
playing
thing.
the old art style.
I'm playing the new art style, but I have occasionally toggled over to old art style to see what it looked like.
It's important. I haven't played Umineko, but I have played through not all of, but quite a bit of Higurashi, which is the same. It's very capital A, capital B anime bullshit, but I don't know. It appealed to me more than Umineko because Umineko just like looks just silly, much sillier.
Right.
Where Higurashi is not not silly, but it's pretty grounded in a lot of ways. Um,
Well, that was
but
like the praise that
it's
my
this
friends gave it is that it's very nuanced and that they approach some kind of complex ideas in like really thoughtful ways. And I'm like, I am so curious how the thing I've been reading so far turns into that because like that seems very far away from where it is right now.
yeah, that's fair. I feel like you could probably also say that about Higurashi, but like again, I never got around to like playing all of them. I have. Let me look at my Steam library here. I have up to chapter 8 purchased, and I have played up through chapter 6.
Okay.
But each chapter is like, oh, I started chapter 6. I didn't finish chapter 6, but like each chapter is, let's see, 8.9 hours, 13.9 hours, 15.6 hours. That one's 6.8, 10, and then I got 3 hours into chapter 6. So they're long.
Okay.
And Umineko is the same way. But and that's
Okay.
not even all the chapters. I don't think. I think there's more chapters that haven't bought yet.
So
They had
I
that they
may
didn't
have to
finish translate anyway. So
I may have to suffer through this guy's bullshit a little longer.
you may, you may.
Like, it is a hard sell to start like a vision of that is like 100 to 150 hours long.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And especially starting it in a way that's like not immediately gripping.
Yes.
But like I said, I want to give it its fair shot. Um, and I am curious to see how it is once it gets to the meat. Um, which, God willing, it will do at some point.
And then you can play Silent Hill F because again, same writer.
Oh, is it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, I probably won't do that, but
No,
that's
that's fair.
fine.
That's fair. I mean, I haven't played Silent Hill F either. I watched. I don't even remember who I watched play it, but I remember being like, yeah, I can see the DNA a little bit in what the story ends up being. Um,
I will.
yeah.
It came a friend recently. It came up in conversation. Was playing. Oh shoot! What's like the new like zeitgeisty game? Titanium Court. I want to say.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
maybe it was Titanium Court. Some other heavily narrative game, and they were apparently thinking like, man, Umineko tackled a lot of these same ideas in a like much more nuanced and interesting way. I'm like,
Huh.
interesting, interesting take. And I for people who've played, I also haven't played Titanium Court, so I could be completely misremembering which game they were talking about. But it was some recent indie darling type uh, game that came out. Um, it might have also been like Esoteric Ebb or one of the other
I was about to suggest Esoteric Ebb. That
Yeah,
feels more in line.
yeah. Maybe they were talking about Esoteric Ebb. I do not. Let me see if I can find the. Uh, um, Let me see if I can find where I started talking about it because I think it was in a reply to my. Um,
I'm so happy for Christopher on working on Esoteric Ebb.
yeah.
It's done so well.
No, sorry, Platinum Court, not Titanium Court,
Platinum Court.
which is different things even still. So, Platinum Court? Yeah, I don't know. He said Platinum Court. Maybe he meant Titanium Court. Um, but he says, I was just playing Platinum Court and thinking that Umineko tackled a lot of the same themes in a more nuanced and mature way. So this is when I had said I've started to play Umineko. He said I'll give the same disclaimer that my other friend gave. Minor spoilers. The POV character at the start is kind of anime teen pervy and makes jokes about his cousin's boobs a weird amount, but he stops that pretty quickly. So, I mean, it's been 2 hours and he's still doing it. So we'll see what quickly means in this context.
Yeah, I guess quickly by like 100-hour visual novel
standards.
Yeah, standards. Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm at the moment.
Yeah, there's definitely a not insignificant amount of that. Not specifically like from the main character, but there is in Higurashi there's like there's some very young girls being sexualized in ways that are not uh and I will say to its credit, it's usually not like this is a good thing that's happening. From what I remember, it's usually like, this ain't good. This is bad actually, but I don't know. It's still just a little bit rough to
and they did
look at and think about.
They did just hang a lampshade on it where like the main character admits that like this is not actually a thing he's interested in. He just kind of like acts this way as like a quirky icebreaker to kind of get people laughing,
to get a rise out of people.
Yeah, something like. And I'm like, really? Like that's you made your 9-year-old cousin promise to let you touch her boobs when she gets older? That's your idea of like cute icebreaker? Like, my guy, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah. Capital A, capital B.
Yeah. I wish I could remember. At one point, somebody was like, I was hearing somebody's rant on like this, like measuring system for level of anime bullshit, and it was like an acronym where each of the letters was like a different kind of anime bullshit. Like one of them was like fan service, like weird pervy stuff. But unfortunately, I do not remember the scale. I wish I could. I did try to look for it.
Is it weeb ass shit?
Maybe.
That came up when I googled it.
Acronym for anime. That sounds right, actually. Yeah, weeb ass and shit. Wow, you found that so fast. I was looking for it for like half an hour and didn't find anything. Yeah, weeb to the degree to which the show assumes a familiarity with Japanese pop culture or anime tropes in general. Ass is how much fan service. And shit, which is like general show quality.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty high on both weeb and ass so far. And honestly, kind of shit as well in terms of like the writing is, again, 2 hours, nothing has fucking happened so far. It's all been characters kind of standing around and like musing about their relationships to each other for and like making like vaguely ominous like commentary about things that have changed in the past like 6 years or 2 years or something like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
we shall see.
I guess I only have 2 unpurchased chapters of Higuro. Maybe I should just get those. Fucking make a point to just knock that out of my life.
Well, you were complaining about earlier, I think off mic, about not like being paralyzed by indecision of what to play. So like maybe this is your push to to finish Higurashi.
Man, I don't. It doesn't feel like it is.
No, denied. Will not.
Eventually, but not this year, probably.
Fair enough. I mean, hey, it's your life. We got other things we're gonna be playing for the pod.
That's true.
So.
Also, man, how fucked up is it that we are approaching halfway through the year?
I know.
What?
I can't believe May is almost over. It's like upsetting.
Yeah. Should not be allowed.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have even fucking said it. I should not have mentioned how time is passing.
It's unfortunately kind of inexorable.
Yeah.
We are all slowly marching towards death. But in the meantime, video games. Shall we talk about what we played?
A momentary diversion on the road to the grave, absolutely.
Yeah, speaking of the inexorable passage of time,
and
we did play a game that was set in the 90s.
Yeah, and you had what I was gonna use as a segue hook earlier, indie smash hit darling, although I don't know that this would necessarily be considered a darling or a smash hit, but it has been discussed
in the zeitgeist, apparently.
Pretty extensively.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played Mixtape.
We played Mixtape.
By Beethoven and Dinosaur. And published by Annapurna. Whatever's left of it.
Yeah. Beethoven and Dinosaur, you may remember from The Artful Escape, which we played in our previous set of 100 games.
And I enjoyed.
I think we largely enjoyed. Maybe there was like some slight mixed response to it, but it was on some of like our awards categories, and I think it was in my top 10, or it was, if it wasn't, it was like a close like a close contest. It was in the like nearly got spots. But yeah, so this is their follow-up game, and I think it's really interesting to kind of put the two side by side, because now it's like 2 points in a line where you can say, okay, this is the kind of game that this studio makes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And it does have some similarities.
Yeah, which is to say not so much games as like interactive music experiences.
Mm-hmm.
Because this game is basically like a series of playable music videos, more or less, more than it is like a game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to touch that subject, but I would agree with that.
I mean, yeah, in as much as one wants to define what counts as a game or whatever, but whereas like Artful Escape was a series of music videos that was like kind of psychedelic space odyssey sort of synth music, synth rock. This is more like, I guess, indie rock. I don't actually know music genres very well, so y'all have to help me out here.
Yeah, we're a little all over the place. In genre and in time as well. I was expecting this to be a lot more like late 80s, early 90s, but it's a little farther reaching than that, which was kind of interesting. Getting into some stuff from like the 70s and a lot of rock music, but a lot of stuff that was definitely not rock music. So it's I I guess I'll just kind of go out and say it. I know I think one of the criticisms I haven't like really delved too much into the discourse of this one, even though I know it's occurring, just because I didn't want that to really affect,
Hmm.
uh, me going into it. But I think one of the criticisms that I know has sort of been levied is that like teenagers in the '90s weren't listening to this kind of music, and they do justify it by making
Yeah,
what's her name, Stacy, by making her like kind of autistic coded about music.
yeah.
um
The premise is the narrative premise is that she wants to be a music supervisor, where her job will be to know all music that has ever been made and like select the right music for any given like background for any moment in time or situation.
yeah. So I think that's like a fine justification for how wide reaching and how not actually nostalgic to the '90s most of this stuff is. um but
It does feel a lot like kind of a genre pastiche of teen movies, right? Like it's not really
so
a lived
yes.
experience of like
Yes.
a particular teenager so much as it is like a mashup of teen movies of the like 80s and 90s.
Which yeah, actually, as you were away right before we started recording, when Carl and I were trying to find out how old Johnny Galvatron is, I found an interview that he did with Vice, and he specifically mentions John Hughes. So,
Yeah.
you, yeah, it's
Which
definitely.
honestly I think is fine. Like we've played a bunch of games that are like very specific autobiographical lived experience type games, right? Like A Thousand Times Resist is that.
Mhm.
Where it's we're talking about a very specific experience of like a person or small group of people, and Despelote and Venba, and right, like all of these like super culturally hyper specific games, and this is not trying to be that. It is not trying to like have a deep thing to say about uh, some specific subculture. It is saying like, hey, let's do a teen movie pastiche as an excuse to like play a lot of cool music and do like fun music videos to them. That's my
Yeah,
take.
and I think part of what didn't necessarily click with this for me is that I just I have never felt any particular affinity for like that kind of thing, for like any John Hughes movie, really, for that kind of teen comedy
I'm
at
not
all.
I'm not 100% sure I've even seen a John Hughes movie, to be honest.
I did
Ferris
enjoy
Bueller,
Breakfast Club.
I
yeah,
haven't
Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Breakfast Club, 16 Candles.
No, like I've seen like clips from all of these. I know them as cultural reference points, but I've never sat down and watched the movies.
I mean, that's fair. I would say you don't really need to, but that's just like I said, that's just me. Um,
If I
also,
was going to, I should have as research for Wintermore, and I didn't. Um,
mm, yeah, that's fair, but mm, I don't know. There's just like the fake nostalgia,
I was
and
going to say
like,
there's very much a feeling of like, do teens like this actually exist? Have they ever actually existed
and I was gonna go ahead and say no, but the other thing is that like this
outside
also,
of movies?
yeah, and it this same kind of faux Americana time and place nostalgia
Hmm.
also existed in The Artful Escape in a big way, where it's like, oh, this takes place in some fictional town in Colorado that doesn't like neither of these places that we are given locations.
Hmm.
That the place in Artful Escape was in Colorado,
Hmm.
not real. This place is also in like Northern California, but like these are not places that have really ever existed anywhere outside of a movie. It all just
Yeah,
feels like a movie set, kind of.
yeah, and there's the characters are like big archetype kind of characters rather than like real nuanced feeling.
Although I am gonna go ahead and go with the headcanon that The Artful Escape is Slater's album that he wrote.
I could see that. That makes
So,
sense.
but yeah, what I was thinking as I was playing this is like I am. sort of at an age where I have less and less to grab onto with like the coming of age narrative, and
Mhm.
this is even less of that because it's a coming of age narrative based entirely on fake nostalgia and like tropes. Eh, Which
Yeah,
is not to say that I hated playing this. I just didn't do a whole lot for
I
me.
I
Like,
guess that didn't bother me as much because I kind of like I clocked onto it early and kind of approached it from the like we are doing a teen movie pastiche like viewpoint. And from that point it's a very well executed teen movie pastiche.
yeah,
Yeah, I can see that, but I do think they play up the nostalgia a bit too much to
Maybe.
just
I don't have much nostalgia for this music in particular.
you
Um but
rewind a cassette tape and you do it wrongly, but that's not the point.
yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Also, it's
Um,
upside down, but that's not the point.
Yeah, you use
Also,
a
you have a
yeah,
rewind function on your player,
yeah,
but that's
so
not
why
the
yeah,
don't you
point.
put it in the player? Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Um,
Uh, I do like the like one of the things that I think was mentioned about the people's thoughts on it before we started playing of like what the current like cultural perception was. Apparently people were saying that like it's really pretentious, and I don't know if I agree with that. I think the characters are really pretentious,
mhm.
but in a like teenager, I am 17 and therefore understand everything about important about how the world works kind of
Yeah,
way.
I'm 17 and I've just figured it out. Yeah,
Yeah,
that didn't bother me. That felt like I, I've I think we can all say that we had those moments in time.
yeah,
Like I will fully cop to it. I felt a lot of feelings and had a lot of depression. And I definitely knew that I was like destined for suffering. Which I'm
yeah,
glad is like not overall been the case. But like, you feel your feelings really hard when you're that age.
yeah. And they
And
have
like,
this awareness of like graduation is coming and things are about to change, so like it's really important for us to like make some big important memories right now that we can take with us.
mhm.
And like that, I've felt that before. Like that's not an unreasonable attitude. I feel like, or not that it's not unreasonable, but not unrealistic in certain ways. The the like way they go about doing it is like let's like sneak into a broken like an abandoned amusement park about dinosaurs. Like that's where the like teen movie pastiche of like who fucking does that though.
Or the like sit outside of the gas station convenience store and get drunk. I don't like I mean, look, I was too young to be doing this kind of shit in the 90s, but like was that a thing people did? Maybe I grew up too rural. Maybe I grew up too much in the Midwest. Um
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so
maybe
we
I
I
were
was a
don't have
good
drinking,
kid.
any.
yeah, we
I
were
don't have
drinking in
any
like fields or basements, but not 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 just like in public. That's stupid.
I don't have any memories like that, but I do know that the kids right now here
Mhm.
tend to gather outside the fucking gas station here
Huh, okay.
So
in the
yeah,
parking lot.
I wonder if the teen movie pastiche stuff is not. It's not that it's made up whole cloth. It's like taking the most notable parts of like a huge number of people's different experiences and combining them into one mega experience that nobody has ever lived.
And the other thing that I have always kind of suspected is that it's combining the mega experiences primarily of people who grew up in Southern California, which
Mm,
is why none of it has really ever clicked with me.
could be, could be.
I think about like the archetypal high school, which is always those like outdoor kind of campus high schools that you see a lot in
Yeah,
places with warmer climates like Southern
yeah,
California. The kind of shit that I was like, this is not what a fucking school looks like. I've never seen a school like this because I am from Iowa, where it snows a lot in the winter, and you can't have your fucking children slogging through the snow to get to chemistry class or whatever. They
yeah,
would die. It gets
yeah.
real cold. So, yeah, maybe that's another reason why none of this shit has ever really felt to ring true to me, which is not the fault of this game,
Yeah.
obviously. Like I am coming out hot and heavy with criticism, but I didn't feel that strongly about anything really. I have one big gripe that we can talk about later, but
Yeah. And I do feel like the game did capture in its teen movie pastiche sort of way, did capture the like small things that are way too important feeling of teenagerness, right? Like this is the most important thing that will ever happen, and it's like it's definitely not. Like
it's literally not. No.
you are really overstating this. And like the main character's whole like the whole crux of the drama that's going on is that the main character um, has decided that in order to fulfill her dream of being a music supervisor, she's going to fly to New York and stalk this like well-known like existing producer slash music supervisor until she gives her like a job or an internship. And
Very
she's
90s way of getting a job.
yeah, she's very convinced that this will absolutely work, and it's like, honey, no, this is not,
Hmm.
no. And it's very clear that it's like very stupid, but she's like 100% convinced this is the way to achieve her dream. And so she's blowing off her friends. They had like a pre-agreed upon road trip that they were going to take to drop one of their friends off at college, and so she's like blowing off the road trip to pursue this dream, and it's causing friction amongst her friends when it's like it's not. If you put it off for like a week, it's not going to make a difference. It's definitely not.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, it
to
was Oh,
quote
go ahead.
Cassandra in the game, she could have just waited 1 week.
yeah,
Yeah. I felt like it was really never satisfactorily answered as to why she has to do this now, other than, well, we need a conflict. We need conflict for this
yeah.
narrative.
I mean, she does say something about how like this person's schedule is such that like after this week she's like flying out to California or flying out somewhere and like going to be heads down on a project and like not available, right? Like she's only in New York for this week or whatever. But also like you're not going to get a fucking job by stalking this lady. This is you're going to just live in New York with your sister, and if you're really lucky you might make some connections to like
Yeah.
some music industry people.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. I would fucking rather go on the road trip. Road trips are fun.
yeah. But you know, it's as Kelso mentioned, she's kind of like slightly like autistic coded, and you know, like clearly this has gotten into her head as like the thing she must do,
Hmm.
and so there's kind of no stopping her at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which you know is like, yeah, she's stupid, but again, this is like very realistic teenage stupid in a lot of ways. And
Hmm.
it kind of like the like friendship hurt feelings kind of arc of the story like did feel not unearned to me, right? Like it did feel like they were like genuinely going through real teen problems, and like I wanted by the end of it I wanted to see them like resolve it in a way that felt good, and I was happy that they work things out by the end. Maybe just
I
me.
do think I do think Stacy is a little needlessly judgmental of
Oh,
what's her
absolutely.
name?
A little?
Goodspeed, Jenny Goodspeed or whatever.
Jenny fucking Goodspeed.
Jenny fucking Goodspeed.
That honestly was kind of one of my favorite running gags because Jenny Goodspeed says like one slightly off thing about like soundtracks and movies at one point, and the main character just decides, I hate her forever. She's not like I will never get over this grudge.
She
Like,
literally says in the scene, "I know everything I need to know about you now."
yeah,
Like, ugh, come on.
yeah. It's like again very dumb, but in a very like believably stupid teenage kind of way. Yeah, the main character is like not the most likable person, but that's okay.
I would maybe
Yeah,
even go as far as to say she's the least likable person.
In the group,
yeah,
perhaps.
yeah. But I
Not like
mean, I
not like all time characters, but in this particular narrative, yeah, that's quite possible. Well,
I
not
had
in
really good friends that were definitely unlikable, so like I get it, but it's just like I don't want to be that guy.
yeah. And she's definitely not the most unlikable character in the narrative because they have like a straight up villain in the form of Cassandra's dad, who's like
Yeah.
the uptight cop who like doesn't even want to let her go away to college because it's too far away, and he like doesn't trust her to behave well, even though she's like pretty perfect, or was
Yeah.
until like the past year or two when she started hanging out with Stacy and Slater because her parents were too strict.
Yeah.
So yeah, so our three characters are Stacy, who's the main character, um, who is sort of narrating it, and her whole thing is she like does a lot of fourth wall breaking, um, and does she's like organizing the soundtrack for their like big final night senior party bash before graduation. Um, and then, well, before she has to leave in the morning for like New York. Then there's Cassandra, who like was a like super perfect straight A, good at sports, kind of like wunderkind student, but her parents being super strict has pushed her to rebel, and so she's like getting the hang of not being perfect anymore. And then Slater, who's kind of your very stereotypical stoner, like in it for the music, like chill guy.
Yeah, he's decidedly like the metalhead of the group.
Hmm.
He makes cool wizard shirts. I like Slater. Slater's
Yeah,
my favorite.
Slater.
Also, uh what was it just me who got the vibe occasionally and slightly uncomfortably that it's like I feel like I'm kind of like intrusively viewing this weird little polycule that they have going on.
Yeah,
I, mm, I don't know.
it's like it's the teenage like too close friendships that like maybe they could have tried dating at one point, but they've sort of known each other too long, and they so it never felt like it was always too awkward to do, but there was also maybe some like weird sexual tension going on, and like it's all hormones and feelings, and none of it's very well defined,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But yeah, I
Um,
definitely got the sense of the three of them being a polycule. I don't.
yeah, well,
I
because
didn't get the
Slater,
sense of them three, but I did get the sense that like maybe she and Slater had hooked up before,
yeah, I got
and
this.
maybe
Yeah.
she and Cassandra wants to hook up. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. I think that pretty much covers it. And like clearly, Stacy and Slater have known each other for like a really long time. Like they have some flashbacks to like the two of them as like little kids playing together. And so like they have a lot of history, and like they're very close, but like they've both dated other people a lot. Like Slater's apparently dated like maybe a lot of girls, and uh Stacy has like a flashback about like her old
First
boyfriend,
kiss.
the first kiss, which is the worst mini game in the fucking game.
I've
Oh,
heard
yeah.
so much about it. I don't think he was that bad.
I had not heard about it. I was unprepared. I finished that mini game as soon as it would let me. The moment
Yeah.
that that's enough button popped up, I slammed that thing.
Me too. Me too.
So it's
That
we should
mm,
go through the all the chapters one by one, but for this one, it's called the French Connection. It's a game where you are like having her first kiss, and it shows like a X-ray side view of their mouths, so you can see their teeth and tongues, and you control one of the tongues, and it's like French kissing for like nearly a minute, and it's so gross.
And the boy she's kissing has braces. Like, it's visceral.
Yeah, it's very slimy. It's
Yeah.
like, ugh. No, thank you. I thought it was very funny. Like, I think it's very appropriate for what it is in the game, but like, no, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree.
But yeah, shall we go through one by one the sequence of the story? Talk about the
Yeah.
individual sequences.
Yeah, sure. You start at the top of a hill and you get a monologue about how CDs are the future of music format media, immediately placing you in time.
Yeah, it's the game takes place somewhat nebulously in the 90s, but like exact date is not given. So
Yeah. I'm sure you could probably place it by like what's the oldest song? Like what's the not the oldest? What's the newest song
yeah.
in the soundtrack? But
And they
I'm
talk
not going
about
to do
how
that.
in order to burn CDs, they have to use this like $30,000 piece of equipment that the school has.
Oh yeah, yeah, that too.
And there's some other pieces of technology that probably could help with dating it, but also again, it's like playing on a very time nebulous nostalgia. So like there's
Yeah, I
stuff
don't
that
think you should date it.
Yeah,
I think it's
exactly.
intentionally tough for that. So yeah, it starts with a skate down the hill. You can do skateboard tricks. You can jump over cars. Skateboarding
Which
down
I
hills is
will say, like, I don't care, but that's the wrong board to do tricks with.
all right. Good to know. Um, one more point docked from realism for this game.
Tisk
No,
tisk.
I wouldn't like. I don't fault the game for doing that, but I feel the need to point it out.
Yeah, no, fair enough. But yeah, there are a lot of like repeated mechanics that the game kind of goes back to periodically, which I think is a good thing because you get used to how the controls work for a specific thing, and then you get to like try it again and like you get better at it over time. And the skateboarding is probably the one that recurs the most. Um, so yeah, you skateboard down, then you get to Stacy's house. Stacy Rockford is her last name. And the kind of one of the main mechanics is like you're in a space and there are a bunch of items in the space, and you investigate the items and they give you like little flashbacks, and those little flashbacks take you to a new scene with a new mechanic and like a new soundtrack song. And there's a lot of like intense music in this not intense, but like there's a lot of like licensed music in this game. I'm sure it's gonna be like murder to try and stream it ever. I wonder if they do that thing where like they've made a bunch of songs that sound similar but are not the copyrighted version that you can play instead while you're streaming.
I'm pretty
Yeah, I
sure
should have.
they cannot do that for two reasons. One, she mentions the songs in the narrative.
Yeah.
And they come up like as title cards, basically, for every time. Not every time, but most of the time.
Yeah, you could do something that like made it obvious what it was a parody of, but yeah, it would be a lot harder.
Also, I know they have like perpetual license. I saw some drama about people complaining. Basically, that's really expensive, but also they have to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the game wouldn't function when the license run out.
Yeah, exactly.
We've seen that happen before.
Yep.
And I know in the interview, one of the things that they briefly talked about was like, I think they said we got every song that we asked for, but there were several songs that were like, we're not even going to bother asking.
Yeah.
Because like we're never going to get like perpetual rights to Pink Floyd was one that they specifically mentioned. Like, yeah, you're not. Good shout. Good call on that one.
Yeah. And it's sad that it makes it so difficult to do something like this, that like that's such a headache part of this particular type of project. But it's unfortunately the world we live in. So yeah,
We can
so
all thank Disney.
yeah. So the things that the memories that are included in Stacy's house include the horrible kiss sequence, which I'm mistaken. French Connection is the name of the achievement you can get in that for if you make out for more than 60 seconds,
Ugh,
which I was not going to do.
no, no, thank you.
Also in that sequence is the headbanging sequence, which was actually one of my favorites, which is just like a series of different camera angles of the car driving along with the three of them, and you like press buttons to headbang in rhythm with the music.
Yeah, it was cute. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, very cute, very silly. Rockford's Headphones is listed here as a chapter name. Anybody remember what that one was?
Uh, no, hang on.
No.
Yeah, who knows? I know there was maybe that's just the memory, like not particularly a musical one, but there is a thing about like she
Oh
is
yeah,
constantly
when
wearing headphones and she feels
yeah,
like weird if she's not listening to music.
yeah, I
And
think
like,
that's what it was because Cassandra asks her, like, I don't think I've ever seen you without the headphones.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so they talk about how like she has trouble like dealing with the world without a soundtrack. Um, there's also like shopping cart bomb, which is I think that's the flashback about them like trying to take a drunk Cassandra out of a party and by
yeah,
like throwing her in a shopping cart, and then you have to like shopping cart skateboard all the way down the
Yes.
a hill, and it's controls so badly. Like it's so jank, as you would imagine a shopping cart would be. um and that's a joke that I really enjoyed from the writing. One of my favorites in the game is they accidentally like ride the shopping cart down a highway ramp and onto the highway, and it like cuts to this kind of news because they're being chased by the cops at this point. And it cuts to kind of like a news cam footage of
like
them.
helicopter
Yeah,
footage. Yeah,
helicopter shot, and like the news anchor says something like, "In all my years of broadcasting, I've only seen this like 5 or 6 times."
Yeah.
yeah,
For some
like
reason, that
filmed the way that like a high profile high speed chase, like you
yeah,
know OJ Simpson running from the cops. Like you've got the helicopter filming down onto the freeway. Yeah, that kind of thing.
yeah, that
It's a little
line was
grainy.
for some reason just very funny to me.
Yes.
Um, then you go to so then you go to Stacy's sister's room, because part of this is like you're searching for booze to bring with you to this big fancy party that's going to be happening later
Hmm.
in the evening.
College kids are going to be at the party.
Yeah. And so like you are snooping trying to find um stuff in Debbie's room, and you end up finding like a treasure map to where there is supposedly alcohol hidden for this purpose. Other sequences include Ultimate Slushy, where you are like mixing different flavors of slushy at a slushy machine.
Hmm.
Um, Photo booth, which is like an old memory of you and Slater taking pictures together in a photo booth. What is the Ritz discovery? Or is that
That's
just
so.
That's
the
the
map?
house.
Yeah, that's the house. So that's they're reminiscing about like, oh yeah, like this is not the first time Debbie has done this kind of thing.
Mhm.
Uh, when she left for college, she left a map, and that led them to this abandoned house in the woods that they
Right.
call the Ritz. It's like their secret hideout that Debbie and her friends had previously used.
Yeah.
So it's like a kind of a bequeathment.
Yes. Then you head to Cassandra's house. There is the skipping stones sequence, which I think was maybe one of my favorite sequences in the game. It's one of the most like actual skill involved kind of things. Not a lot of skill, mind you, but like you are aiming a rock at different things out on the lake, and there's some weird shit out there.
Yeah.
The there's if you manage to get a stone through the tire swing, it starts popping up a sequence of garden gnomes that you can hit.
Mm-hmm.
Which I felt like there was maybe going to be like an interesting end to that sequence, but I hit all the garden gnomes I could find, and nothing in particular happened. But
Yeah.
also, I'm worried that I missed one of them.
Yeah, I had the same thought. I don't know if I missed one or if that was just here's more targets. I don't.
Yeah, but there's all kinds of like boats and weird statues and electronics and piles of colored stones and just fun things to try and hit out on the water. Um, that is a fun one. And then we get to Cassandra's house and her oh so pink room. Very like massively pink silk sheets and all her trophies that she's won and such.
It's a huge fucking room.
Yeah, it's a lot. And so flashbacks here include softball, where you have to like hit a bunch of home runs, and a Cassandra flashback. There's a toilet paper attack. Is you are TPing the principal's house to in revenge for him, like giving Stacy detention or something like that.
I don't remember specifically what the.
He gave the like entire class.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It was Slater's whole class got detention.
Yeah.
Collective punishment. Yeah.
And Cassandra takes the rap for it at the end of the flashback. That was like one of her first major acts of rebellion, because like she had a spotless record, so she would just probably get detention, whereas Stacy might get expelled by this point.
Yeah.
And yeah, then the like Floating on Sadness is one that like stuck with me as like a vibe, because that's where like she calls Cassandra to hang out, and Cassandra makes up an excuse about like how she's not feeling well, and then later on she sees Cassandra hanging out with Jenny instead, and it's like it becomes this like weird slow-mo like reverse floating journey back to her bedroom that's very like just kind of surreal and strange, but like felt very cool.
And it's in black and white, I believe.
Yeah, and it does like it's a weird way to capture this idea, like this feeling of kind of like abandonment by your friend, because like you realize like that they didn't really want to hang out with you and didn't want to tell you.
Yeah,
that was like a super interesting way to try and capture that, and yeah, I don't know, it was interesting. There's a like Stacy and Cassandra like have a heart-to-heart just lying on her roof is another one you can get there, and the breaking into the old dinosaur themed theme park, which is a strange one.
Yeah.
And
I am a little bitter that I didn't have shit to break into like and explore like that. Maybe that's why I don't like teen movies, is because I didn't get to do cool things.
Yeah. It makes me think of the Teen Wolf TV series, where like half the town is fucking abandoned malls and warehouses, because they always need places to like meet up or have like fight scenes and stuff. So it's like, yes, the old abandoned warehouse by such and such, but like they don't want to just have them go to the exact same place every time. So by a few seasons in, you're like, how is this town doing economically? Because it seems like there's a lot of abandoned buildings.
The old bean factory.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're taking pictures on this old, like, kind of Game Boy type thing.
Yeah, it feels like they mixed like a Game Boy, the Game Boy camera with like a Talk Boy kind of is like what it looks like as a object. I don't know, yeah,
And it takes like
takes the
really,
worst pictures.
really shitty, grainy pixel photos,
Yeah.
um, which is kind of fun. And yeah, so like, oh, we're gonna take pictures of this abandoned uh, theme park and like have these memories forever. And like you can barely make out what's even in the pictures.
Yeah.
Um,
It's like 3-bit dithering. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then we get the interruption by Stacy's dad,
Cassandra's dad.
Cassandra's dad. What an asshole.
The cop. Pig.
Hmm. And he is a
Um
very like, your friends are bad influences, and how dare you have any autonomy and or do things that we don't tell you can do.
yeah, that's the peril of being like the bright kid.
Yeah. And he says, like, I've heard rumors there's going to be a big party tonight, and so like you're grounded for the rest of the evening so that you don't try and sneak out to it, basically. So you get involved in all of this hooligan nonsense. Which this is like Stacy's moment of like least relatability. I guess it like, you can argue that like this makes sense as a teenager, but even for a teenager, like this clearly isn't Cassandra's fault, but like Stacy gets really like messed up and uptight about it. Like, how dare you let your dad tell you you're grounded and like not immediately agree to sneak out with us in the
Yeah.
evening?
Yeah, and I feel like if you're gonna do the like play on the 80s movie, then you can't write the characters as like faulty characters in that way.
Yeah, I think there were probably better ways to have handled it. Like, she could have been more mad at Cassandra's dad than at Cassandra, and it would have probably been, pretty similar
I
story wise. But
I also feel like that would have made your encounter with Cassandra's dad later on uh maybe even a little bit better, but eh.
yeah,
Um
I mean, it would
but
make it harder to justify the two of them like not immediately going to like rescue Cassandra and break her out.
yeah.
But it's a little bit tenuous for sure.
Um
So you get another skateboarding sequence where you're very angry, so you get to blow things up with your mind as you're
so
you
this is the thing that actually pissed me off about this
oh,
game.
interesting.
There were two instances back to back. And the first one I mentioned in the Discord, where you're in Cassandra's room and one of the tapes on there's like they just have like tapes littered around and you can pick them up and see what is written on the tapes and be like, I know that band. So she had a tape of the Cocteau Twins, Heaven or Las Vegas, one of the best albums of all time. Heaven or Las Vegas, one of my favorite songs of all time. You're gonna tell me that you're gonna fucking put that in your game and you're not gonna put that song on your fucking soundtrack, you piece of shit. Come on. And then the second thing is, again, these two things happen back to back. Right after they leave the house and Cassandra's not with them, and Stacy says, "Well, this ruins my whole playlist. We were gonna put Swans on, but now we can't listen to Swans." And then they proceed to go like explode shit while skateboarding. Swans is way better exploding shit music than the Smashing Pumpkins. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? I really like Swans. Swans is pure nightmare music. I'm struggling to imagine how that would have even ended up on the playlist in the first place, but hey. There you go. So that's like my that's like my actual big gripe with this game is you teased me with swans and the Cocteau twins,
Chelsea has
and you
big
didn't.
music opinions.
I know, which is crazy because I don't really even consider myself that much of a music person. That's always been more of my husband's bag, but I guess I have picked up the opinions by osmosis, and this is just who I what I have to live with now. Damn.
To be entirely honest, I had not heard of most of the bands in this game, let alone individual songs.
That's
So
fair. A
I
lot
have
of it is like
no opinions.
pretty niche pulls too, for
Yeah.
sure. Um,
Like
yeah.
I've heard of the Smashing Pumpkins. Like
Okay.
I recognize that
You've
band name.
you've heard the Smashing Pumpkins, even if you can't
I
like
probably
name
have.
a song.
Yeah.
You definitely have. Yeah. Anyway, I had to do my angry aside there, but we can continue.
That's fine. That's reasonable. It is fun to blow things up with your mind as you skateboard down.
You don't even. Do you blow it up with your mind or do you blow it up with your finger?
Either way, it's like it is not obviously you are not actually blowing up anything. So the mechanics of it are all in your head one way or the other.
I like to believe that it's all real.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The true teenage odyssey. Um, then you get to like um, your little like hideout house in the woods and kind of reminisce about the time you spent there. You get to paint the door some colors, however
Hmm.
you want. You get to move a couch. You get to sweep up some leaves and
Get to
like,
slingshot bottles on a car,
yep,
rusted out old piece of shit car.
yep. You have is it? No, that comes later. But yeah, so just kind of like reminiscing about this time that you spent, hanging out and how, you agreed not to tell anybody else about this place because it was like your secret hangout and you didn't want a bunch of other kids to come by and kind of get it noticed. And then, like the cops would come by and like shut the place down and all that. Or tear it down probably because it's like an old abandoned building.
Safety hazard. And also, yeah, you're looking for your sister's booze stash.
Yep, you keep finding like bits of uh, torn photograph, and you have to like assemble them into a picture and find where the beer is, and you find like a big stash of booze and fireworks.
And fireworks. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you head to Slater's house. Um, Slater apparently is like a musician, and he's kind of been sort of coy about he has an album, but he doesn't want anybody to listen to it because it's like really personal, and he's like not sure how well it will be received, especially by Stacy, because Stacy is super judgmental about music stuff, as we've learned.
Yeah.
Also relatable.
Yeah.
Not wanting to share music or being super judgmental about
Like
it.
not wanting to share like the stuff you make, especially to
Yeah.
like close friends.
Yeah, that's fair. It can be a lot easier sometimes to share it with strangers whose opinions you don't care about as much.
Yeah. People you don't have to see every day.
Yeah. Flashbacks here include um, going to an old video store and like you are Slater, who is super drunk or possibly high or both. And so like everything is kind of like rocking back and forth and he's very difficult to control and you're just like careening into shelves and knocking things all over the place.
Yeah.
And you gotta try and rent like 3 videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done the pretend to be sober in public thing. Not to that degree, but I've definitely had that moment.
Yeah, and also in Slater's room, you like talk him into letting you listen to like a little bit of one of his songs, and it is like something from Artful Escape, that kind of space odyssey sort of music.
It is Beethoven and Dinosaur, right? Or
I would assume so.
Their band.
This I do not know, but probably I would not be surprised.
I kind of have just assumed that every piece that played that wasn't specifically called out, or wasn't like something that I recognized, was probably just something that they had composed for this. Is just kind of what I'm assuming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems reasonable.
It's also a vibe to make a song and then make a game with a character that complements your song.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. That's always the hardest thing to do because, like, you want to make something that's like, it's not as bad in here because you're like, okay, this is like a teen kid's first thing, so it should be like decent, but it doesn't have to be earth shattering. The worst part is when you write something in your narrative where you're like, you know, he wrote the most moving short story that anyone has ever written, or like this was the song that changed everything and like made audiences burst into tears, and it's like, fuck, now I have to like write and describe this thing, and there's no way it's gonna be that good.
Yeah, just don't. Just don't.
Yeah, it's a tough corner to back
Let
yourself
let
into writing wise.
let the imagination do the heavy lifting on that one, I say.
Or
Yeah.
use comedy as an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking of in Wonder Boys. There's like supposedly like a really good short story, and they get around it by just like putting like 2 or 3 turns of phrase from the story in various points, where you're like, oh, I see. This is one of those like really like pretentious poetic literary short fiction kind of things. Like, I got it.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then you don't actually have to write the whole thing or know what's in it other than that. But yeah, there's also like there's a cute moment when they get there. Like you hear Slater's mom call up from downstairs, like, "You kids want some martinis?" or something like that. I don't remember if it's martinis or some other drink.
It's
I think it was
margaritas.
Margaritas, yeah. You kids want some margaritas? And Slater's
Yeah,
like, "Mom,
Slater's.
stop offering my friends alcohol."
Oh yeah, and then Cassandra's dad stops by to speak to Slater's mom, and Slater yells down the stairs, "Who is it?" And she says, "It's the pigs, honey." Like
Yeah,
Slater's mom is cool. Cool
yeah,
as hell.
yep, yep. Yeah, so yeah, the cops come by and kind of interrupt, and they're like, "Oh, we heard about this party tonight. Like, they've like already busted it at that point, I think." And like,
Yeah.
we've already busted it, and we've heard that like there are some kids hanging around by the gas station, and I have to go do that next. And you'd happen to know at that point that Cassandra is one of the kids hanging out by the gas station. I forget why you know that, but you do know that.
Because
She takes off with Jenny because Jenny shows up at the Ritz.
That's right. That's right. She does. I forgot. Cassandra does show up at the Ritz, having escaped from her house, having like snuck out, and they like almost reconcile for a moment, but then Jenny shows up because she came with Cassandra, and the like drama about the road trip kind of comes to a head, where Stacy's like, how dare you show someone our secret hideout? And Cassandra's like, well, you are abandoning us, so actually Stacy's going to come on the road trip instead of you, and why shouldn't I show her this place? And there's a bit of a falling out, and they decide to go hang out at the gas station.
Yeah.
the plan was for like all of the 3 to go to the gas station.
Yeah, but yeah. So so Stacy and Slater find out that like, oh shit, they're about to get busted, and then you have to do like a infinite runner style like running mini game to get to the gas station ahead of Cassandra's dad. And you basically like shove Cassandra behind a dumpster and take the fall in her place for being a hooligan out in the evening, I guess. You do like set
Underage drinking.
Underage drinking, and you do set off a firecracker in a trash bin. So
Yeah.
so you get like put in the squad car, and then Slater breaks you out of the squad car and you run away.
You have
And then
like a moment with Cassandra's dad where you're like basically saying, "Hey, stop being so hard on your daughter," and then Stacy quotes lyrics to a song, and then Cassandra's dad quotes her right back with a Leonard Cohen song, and they have like a brief moment of understanding, and then she gets put in the cop car, and then yes, Slater breaks her out.
yeah, um, which implies there's more depth to Cassandra's dad than we know, but also he's still an asshole. So
Still
yeah.
a pig.
So yeah, then you as you've like escaped and you're running away, you run into the girl who's like was supposed to be hosting the fancy party. And she's like, oh yeah, the beach party got busted because like the cops found us. Like, hey, by the way, do you know a place where we could move the party? Because like everybody's still here in their cars, like looking for a place to go instead. And so you take everybody out to your weird, dilapidated hut in the middle of the woods.
Which is interesting because like they know about it because they're Debbie's friends.
Some of them are, yeah.
Kyle, the other mustache guy, definitely is because you see him in some of the pictures that Debbie had. So it's like, what? It's a little bit of a contrivance, I
Yeah,
get.
I mean, maybe they don't know if it was still there, although it's probably only been like a year or two, so who knows.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but yeah, you decide to like welcome them to I mean, for all we know, they're following some, like teen code type thing of like, well, we've bequeathed it and now we can no longer go there because it has been passed on, like
True,
who the fuck
true.
knows. But they say, like, yeah, we do know a place. Everybody goes out into the woods. It's a real rockin' party and ends with them setting the place on fire. Not
Yeah.
on purpose, just bad use of fireworks. Uh,
Hmm.
and there's a whole thing where like Cassandra finally confronts her dad and is like, listen, if you don't ease the fuck up, I'm gonna get way worse about this. So like, let me live my own damn life. And
Listen
that,
here, you little shit.
yeah, that apparently gets through to him at least a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
and then you like fly home, literally, like a weird flight sequence at the end. Um, and you drop off Cassandra, and then you and Slater walk back to your house. Um, when I say you, I'm referring to Stacy because Stacy is the POV character for most of this. And so at the end, Slater gives her his album, a tape with his album, like, hey, take this with you to New York, and like maybe it'll be like a little kind of memory of home sort of thing. And that's the end of the game.
Hmm.
And
That's the
it's
game.
unclear to me if uh, Cassandra and Slater even get to go on the road trip, because that was like one of the things that Cassandra's dad like said she couldn't do. So unclear if that reconciliation at the end means the road trip is back on, or if like the road trip is a bust anyway.
Yeah. It's
I believe
and
they go.
crazy. I assume they go, but crazy of Cassandra's dad to tell her, no, you're actually not going to that college like a week before she's supposed to move there. I
Yeah,
don't know, that seems like you're probably going to forfeit some kind of like registration money that you have paid for
yeah,
sure. Some kind of like deposit on a dorm room. Ah! So,
yeah,
logistically it just makes sense if they just like, well, you're going. We don't
yeah,
want you to burn the town down.
yeah. Um, yeah, and that's the like I said, the playable sequences are not really like there's no through line, you know, resources or like mechanics or anything. It's all just like a bunch of kind of short vignettes that each have their own sort of mini game type attached, um, and then cutscenes kind of stringing them together. But it's like Artful Escape. It is more about kind of feeling like you are like being part of the music, or that the music is accompanying you in some important way than it is about like anything in particular mechanical, which I
Yeah.
think is fine and interesting, and like there aren't a lot of other studios doing that in particular. So like good on them for having like their own weird niche that they've found.
I
Yeah.
will say it's fine, but in Artful Escape, I felt like I was more in the zone because I had control.
Yeah, and you affect the
Like
music more directly for sure in that game.
here, I'm just like moving slightly left or right while a song is playing,
Yeah,
which
I agree. The and I think that's reflected kind of narratively in the roles of the protagonists, right? Like in Artful Escape, you are a musician and this is your journey about becoming a musician, and so like the story is about you controlling and creating the music. Whereas Stacy doesn't want to create music, she wants to curate music. So you're kind of just going through the motions of what she has curated, which is not quite as controlled an experience in the same way.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Um, and I agree. I think I prefer the Artful Escape approach as well as these things go.
Yeah, so do I.
Again, not that I disliked this. I thought some of the mini games were like really cute and funny. Some of them dragged on a little bit longer than they should have. Like I think the dinosaur theme park one was like kind of too long.
Is it bad that my favorite video game is or my favorite mini game is painting the door?
That was a fun one. I think that's a good one.
My favorite one was definitely being drunk in the video store.
I can see that.
Oh god, I need to tell you,
Mhm.
I didn't seem to be able to pick up like the new releases. So I kept wandering in that place for like 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh,
And it was hell going back and forth, unable to like control Slater.
oh yeah, that doing it not by choice. I stumbled around by choice just because I was like, I want to see what these fake movie covers are, and I'm gonna be very deliberate about my choices.
Fair enough.
True to
There was
form,
a
I
lot of
think.
movies.
Yeah.
There were a lot of movies. Some of them I was like, oh, yeah, I would watch this. Like I think I picked two horror movies and a sci-fi movie. And it was
Nice.
like specifically a sci-fi movie that looked very dumb and like schlocky. Um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's also not the best sequence for if you have nausea if with
that too.
the
Yeah.
3D games for sure.
Hmm.
I think my favorite was probably the throwing skipping rocks mini game. I liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, all of those were pretty good.
So
Yeah.
I have a risk of sounding like a whiny bitch. I did enjoy the game, but I have one big gripe with this.
Hmm.
Is that I hate the dialogue.
Yeah. Interesting.
It feels so like stilted and fake.
Yeah. That.
Well, it feels like quippy, right? Like it feels like sitcom writing of the era. Like it definitely doesn't feel like authentic teen dialogue for sure.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it comes down to for like my overall feelings of the game, not just with the dialogue, but the whole thing kind of just feels like an artifice. Like I wish I was this cool when I was a teenager. So I'm just gonna make up like this narrative about how cool my teenage like not saying that that's like what it was, but that it does kind of like have that feeling. Um,
I agree. I think that is the genre to some extent.
yeah,
Which
it didn't land for me,
it's fair if
which we've
that's
talked
not a
about.
if
Yeah,
yeah, it's fair if that's not
Yeah.
a genre that you particularly enjoy.
yeah.
And they keep telling me
Also,
how like badass they are, but nothing they do shows that to me.
That's just because we're old. That's just because we're old.
Maybe that's true.
um, yeah. Also, I don't know. I get really annoyed by like when old people, including myself, I'm gonna put myself in that category since we don't know how old Johnny Galvatron is. We were trying to figure it out, but apparently in like our age bracket, uh, I do kind of get really annoyed at the overall like looking back on being a teenager and like romanticizing it and like the rose-colored glasses things because like I don't know, being a teenager really fucking sucked. And I think it really fucking sucks for a lot of teenagers. And when you see this kind of media coming out and you are a teenager, it's like it's like it just feels kind of like, oh well, I'm fucking up because I'm not having this kind of like I'm not having these kind of adventures. uh, it's like a little bit invalidating in a weird way. I don't know. Again, it's the artifice just like doesn't always sit right for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is not, it's done intentionally, and I think they did what they were setting out to do, and I just think I was maybe never going to super drive with it. Which again is not to say that I like hated playing this game. There were a lot of like really fun sections, and um, I think, like I said, I think they did what they set out to do, and I think they did a good job. But just not my thing.
Yeah, it's
For reasons.
interesting. I wonder if there's something to be sussed out in this idea of like most movies and movie genres don't portray a very realistic view of like people and how they interact, really. Like when you think of like rom-coms, for instance, right? Like nobody actually meets like that. Nobody actually like has a romance like that for the most part, and probably for the best, because there's like some very stupid misunderstandings in those movies most of the time, and like
And a lot of things that are just like outright bad and gross.
yeah, unhealthy communication, people behaving in like weird stalkery ways, and like all kinds
Dubious
of
consent sometimes that ends
yeah,
up being okay. Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so like all of that is kind of accepted as like this is genre convention, and we know that this is not how the real world works, but we know that that's the convention of the genre. And I wonder if there's something about teen movies that feels more like it's pretending to espouse, not espouse, but like pretending that it's portraying something more realistic when it's clearly just the same kind of, this is a set of genre tropes that have nothing to do with reality. But somehow
In
that
some ways,
feels faker because
well,
it's, I don't know.
for like teen movies, especially, it feels faker because you also know that like all of the actors are like late 20s at their youngest,
Yeah,
trying to play high schoolers, so
Yeah.
it's even worse.
there's that too, I suppose.
I also
And this
think
also, oh, go ahead.
oh, I think the idea of coming of age, it must like pretend to be from some grounded place, or that doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
What is it about that genre that we are less willing to extend it the grace of, yeah, I know this is all fake genre stuff. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm curious, like it's a curious inconsistency.
I think because I feel like the coming of age story is, to me, it feels like through viewing someone else's experience of this time period, you're also kind of meant to glean something about yourself, but it just
Mm.
never really works out that way for me.
This teenagerdom is presented as a more universal experience, whereas like
Yeah.
love of your life romantic comedy stuff is kind of a like, yeah, maybe it's a few lucky people get this, but like most we understand most people's lives are more mundane, but like everybody's been a teenager and been to high school, so
Yeah.
that could
Yeah.
be presented as a more
I'm not
universal
sure I could name a rom-com I like.
Yeah, I'm also not rom-coms are also not a genre I care for.
Yeah, there's good ones and bad ones, as with all things. I feel like cinema therapy does a good job of ranking them sometimes, which is a YouTube channel that I recommend to people, by the way. If anyone hasn't seen Cinema Therapy, it is just like they watch movies and then they like, one of them is a filmmaker and one of them is a therapist, and they sort of talk about, you know, if these characters were real, in what ways is this like fucked up and what would you do for them in therapies kind of thing.
That's a great premise. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and so like they have a lot of thoughts about romantic comedies and how most romantic comedies are like quite bad examples of how to do romance in the real world. But there are some good ones that they enjoy, like, you know, When Harry Met Sally is a classic, and that's one that comes to mind that they genuinely liked. But there's you should hear them talk about the Twilight movies.
Oh, there's so much to unpack in Twilight. My lord.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like we got really off track here. I was making a point about something else, but
that's fine.
Yeah, it's so yeah, I guess it kind of depends on your like tolerance for this genre as a whole, and like what you're looking to get out of it. Like if you go into it going like, okay, this is a John Hughes movie, like I think you will have a better experience than if you go into it as a like, this is a portrait of teenagerdom.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what I like. I got what I expected out of it. I just didn't like have super high expectations that it was going to be something for me.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
Again, I am saying this as it's just not something for me, which is fine. It's fine. It was on Game Pass. I didn't spend any money on it except for my subscription, so that's fine.
If you have strong feelings about music and like what is time period appropriate, like that might also wreck your experience.
Yeah, and like I said, I do kind of give this a pass on period accuracy and what were teenagers listening to in the 90s, because like I said, our POV character is kind of like an autistic coded music archivist, so yeah, she gets a pass.
Yeah, she can play whatever she wants.
Yeah. I also think like the game doesn't really try that hard to make it a, can you call it a period piece?
Yeah,
I mean, like even like the way they're dressed is not really.
Yeah, a lot. Man, actually, I will go on record saying probably pretty much everyone gets the like, we're gonna be nostalgic for the 90s and 80s. Just 100% wrong. There was a lot more wood paneling than anyone remembers. Things were a lot more brown and floral printed, I'll tell you that fucking much. So it's just like, you know, you don't have to pine for a time that you didn't get to experience because it wasn't that great.
Yeah, it was
just like all of them
the same. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so I guess that's our kind of general take on it. Mixed reviews. Not a bad experience, but like
It's hard to hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to even say I don't recommend this. Like it's a 3-hour experience, 3 to 5 if you're being really thorough. Like
it's free if you have Game Pass. And for what it's worth, I do think it is approaching its subject matter earnestly. Like it is not trying to be like aloof or like make a big commentary or, you know, like be sarcastic about things or
we're not like doing a deconstruction of the teen movie genre. We're just, here it is.
Yeah, it's just genuinely like, hey, I loved these songs and I want you to experience them in a particular way with me.
Yeah.
And like I think that's fine and cool, and I enjoyed that as a thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely completely fair. Just put the Swan song in there, you cowards. Swans is for sure not for everybody. Like I said, it's basically nightmare music. But put it in there, you cowards. Put in like Beautiful Child. I'm talking only to people who are like me right now. Put in Beautiful Child. It's a great explosion song. Uh, definitely. I don't think what album was that off of? I was gonna say was that period appropriate? I don't think it was. I think that's a later Swans. I'm opening up my Spotify right now. Na 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 na. What out? No, don't play it on my phone. What album was this on?
I'm invested.
Yeah.
I need to know this now.
Now we have to know.
Yeah. Was it? No 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 no. No, it was on. It was earlier than that. Okay, yeah, no, Beautiful Child would have been around. That was on an 80 87? 87. Children of God. Yep. There you go. Sorry.
No, it's
yeah.
totally fine. I feel like that is the sort of person who made this game, right? A person who cares about stuff that's that specific.
Yeah.
But also, like, you know, isn't necessarily the same tastes as the people who are playing the game.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
But I get that kind of like feeling of passion about the music from the game itself. Like, okay, like, look, I know this isn't the right time period, but whatever, I really like this song, so I'm gonna play it for you now.
Yeah, it's very much like a game made by people who are really invested in curating their music. Which again is less me. Like, that's more of my husband's bag. He did like a 3-hour playlist for our wedding reception. Bangers front to back, man. He did a great job. He's great at playlists. So,
maybe you should play this game.
Well, I told you what he said about it last time. He said it looks like the most pretentious thing I've ever seen, and then in the same breath said, it seems like something you would like. Like, thanks, babe. Thanks, dear. Thank you.
Well, it is not the most pretentious thing. The characters, again, are very pretentious.
Yeah.
But the game itself, I think, is like fairly grounded, if not in realism, at least in sort of its emotionality and its approach to the subject matter.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like earnest appreciation of the how hard it feels to be a teenager, and the music that it was involved in the game as well. So for better or worse, you know, it's, especially if you have Game Pass, again, like we said, it's only like 3 hours. You might as well give it a try.
Yeah. If any of this sounds even remotely interesting to you, or if you just, I don't know, want to maybe get some decently cool music recommendations.
Yeah.
It's a one-sitting game, so...
Yeah. I literally played it this morning before we recorded, because I knew I could get away with it.
I think I played it actually in like 2 or 3 sittings. But you could quite conceivably play it in one sitting. I just like don't have the patience for long game sessions these days. Which, you know, God help me with Umineko, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it in like 500 1-hour chunks. Like,
finish it in 10 years.
Yeah.
That should be my goal. I should try to finish Higurashi before it's been 10 years since I
started Higurashi.
Yeah.
That's
that
fair.
Could be it. Okay, I've got a few more years before it's 2029 when I started playing in 2019. That was right after I moved out here. I do remember that time period.
But you will have to schedule it around playing our next game, which is...
We're gonna be playing Opus Prism Peak by Sigono Inc. and published by Shueisha Games. I'm sorry if I pronounced that awfully.
Yeah, no idea.
And
We
Me
will not
neither.
judge you.
It's
Yeah.
a narrative adventure, and you play as a photographer. That's pretty much all I know.
And it has like an anime art style. So, but 3D.
Hmm.
Which visually I am like vaguely reminded of Necrobarista.
I know. That's why I'm
Yeah.
hyped.
Yeah. Like, not that necessarily means anything about if the story is going to be good or not, but somehow it like is hitting a portion of my brain that's like, this looks like a thing you liked. So we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. Mm.
And yeah, we will try and play that in 2 weeks, but it is among our slightly longer games, not a one sitting game probably, unless you're one of those like dedicated leather ass gamers.
Yeah. No.
And so we will hopefully be back in 2 weeks to talk about it, unless we're still playing it, in which case we will take longer. So we'll find out.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is it for us. Thank you for listening. We'll be back hopefully next time. And hopefully you will be able to listen to this episode and future episodes on YouTube, if that's your bag. So we'll be working on that. And
if we failed at that, then listen,
you'll know.
Like YouTube search Feedback Force podcast, and you'll either find us or not, and then you'll know whether we succeeded.
We record on Sunday afternoons, so maybe wait until like Sunday night. This is not going to be an immediate thing.
Yeah.
Maybe wait until Monday even. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow. Yeah. So we're going to work on that. And we're going to play this game. And we will see y'all in the next one.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.